Somalia's collapse in 1991 shattered its national army, leaving a power vacuum that was quickly filled by clan militias. The once unified Somali National Army, which had been the backbone of the country's security, disintegrated almost overnight. As government authority vanished, armed groups loyal to different clans seized control of neighborhoods, towns, and entire regions, each carving out their own spheres of influence. In the chaos that followed, extremist groups like Al-Shabaab emerged, taking advantage of the lawlessness and the absence of a central authority. They quickly gained ground, using violence and fear to expand their reach. With no unified military to protect the population, Somalia became a patchwork of warring factions. Streets were divided by checkpoints and daily life was shaped by the unpredictable presence of armed men. Al-Shabaab exploited the chaos, imposing harsh rule on civilians and recruiting young men who saw few other options for survival. Their grip tightened as they offered both fear and a twisted sense of order. International peacekeepers such as ATMIS managed to secure major cities and provide a measure of stability in urban centers. Their presence offered hope, but it was always fragile and limited to certain areas. Despite these efforts, the core problem remained. Somalia lacked a professional, unified army. Recruits often trained with outdated equipment, and the military's capacity was a shadow of its former self. Regional militias stayed loyal to local leaders and clan interests, not the federal government. This deepened divisions and made it nearly impossible to build a national defense force. The result was a fractured landscape, where coordinated defense against threats was nearly impossible. Joint operations often failed, and rivalries between groups led to further violence. This military weakness fueled a relentless cycle of instability. Without security, families fled their homes, businesses collapsed, and entire communities lived in constant fear. Progress and peace remained out of reach. Al-Shabaab's attacks kept the nation in fear, striking at markets, government buildings, and public gatherings. Each attack was a reminder of the state's inability to protect its people. The government, hampered by limited resources and deep political divisions, relied heavily on foreign troops and advisors. Attempts to rebuild the army were slow and often undermined by corruption and lack of trust. It became clear that Somalia needed a transformative partnership, one that could provide not just training and equipment but also help unite the country's fractured forces and restore national pride. Only with a strong unified army, one that serves all Somalis, could the nation hope to break free from decades of violence, reclaim its sovereignty, and finally move toward lasting peace and stability. In recent years, Turkey has emerged as a pivotal player in Somalia's security landscape, stepping in with a bold, hands-on approach. The establishment of the TURKSOM base in Mogadishu, Turkey's largest overseas military facility, marked a turning point in the country's efforts to rebuild its armed forces and restore stability. This base is not just a symbol of military cooperation, but a hub for comprehensive transformation. At TURKSOM, Turkish trainers are forging a new Somali national army from the ground up. Their focus goes beyond basic drills. They emphasize discipline, modern tactics, and crucially, unity that transcends Somalia's deep-rooted clan divisions. The training is rigorous, aiming to instill a sense of national identity and pride in every recruit. Among the most notable outcomes are the elite Gorgor commandos. Trained to international standards, these commandos now spearhead high-risk operations against Al-Shabaab militants, demonstrating a level of professionalism and effectiveness previously unseen in Somalia's security forces. Their success has inspired hope and confidence across the nation. Turkey's support doesn't stop at training. The country supplies advanced military equipment, from state-of-the-art armored vehicles to the formidable Bayraktar Akinci drones. These tools have given Somalia new capabilities in surveillance, intelligence gathering, and precision strikes, fundamentally changing the way the Somali military operates. Unlike many foreign interventions, this partnership isn't about creating proxies or dependency. Instead, it's about empowering Somalia to stand on its own feet, to defend its sovereignty, and to chart its own path toward peace and security. Backed by Turkish technology and expertise, the Gorgor commandos have led a series of successful offensives, reclaiming territory and shifting the balance against insurgents. Their growing reputation has made them a symbol of hope for a safer Somalia. By building a self-sustaining professional military, Turkey is helping Somalia extend its authority beyond the capital, strengthen its institutions, and move from the brink of state failure toward genuine resilience and self-reliance. The transformation is real and ongoing. For the first time in decades, Somalia is developing a force capable of protecting its people, securing its borders, and shaping a more hopeful future for generations to come. Somalia's vast coastline was long a lawless zone, plagued by piracy and illegal fishing, draining billions from the nation. In 2024, Turkey and Somalia signed a landmark 10-year agreement to build a modern Somali navy from scratch. Turkey will provide ships, training, and expertise, enabling Somalia to patrol its waters, combat piracy, and protect vital offshore resources. Securing the seas is crucial for Somalia's economic survival, especially with new oil and gas discoveries. This partnership is more than military. It's about economic independence and asserting Somali sovereignty. The Turkish-backed navy will deter exploitation and signal that Somalia is serious about controlling its territory. With this step, Somalia is closer to becoming a fully sovereign state, able to defend both its land and its seas. While Turkey builds soldiers, Qatar quietly builds the foundation, funding barracks, logistics, and paying thousands of Somali soldiers' salaries. Qatar's support keeps elite units like the Danab Brigade operational, covering costs and ensuring loyalty to the federal government. Doha also invests in police reform and governance, strengthening Somalia's institutions from within. Politically, Qatar is a steadfast ally, using its influence to support the central government and counter rival regional powers. This behind-the-scenes backing addresses chronic weaknesses, making Somalia's security forces more professional and reliable. Together, Turkey's overt military aid and Qatar's strategic support create a powerful synergy. Their combined efforts are helping Somalia build a credible, unified security apparatus. The Turkey-Qatar partnership with Somalia plays out against a backdrop of fierce regional competition. The UAE and Ethiopia have supported rival factions and made moves, like Ethiopia's deal with Somaliland, that threaten Somalia's sovereignty. In response, the Turkey-Somalia Naval Pact sent a clear message. Somalia has powerful allies ready to defend its borders. Gulf rivalries fuel internal divisions, but Turkish and Qatari support gives Mogadishu the leverage to assert authority and resist fragmentation. This isn't just about fighting al-Shabaab, it's about preserving Somalia's unity in a volatile region. With these partnerships, Somalia can project strength and negotiate from a position of confidence. The balance of power in the Horn is shifting, and Somalia is reclaiming its place as a unified nation. Despite significant progress in recent years, Somalia's journey toward stability and prosperity remains fraught with challenges. Deep-rooted issues like corruption and clan-based politics continue to threaten national unity and undermine the effectiveness of the military. These internal divisions make it difficult for the government to implement reforms and build trust among the population, slowing the pace of much-needed change. Al-Shabaab, a resilient and adaptive militant group, remains a persistent threat across the country. The Somali army, while making strides, is still in the process of developing the capacity to secure and govern newly liberated areas. The scars of past conflicts are visible in destroyed buildings and displaced communities, reminding everyone of the stakes involved. The eventual withdrawal of African Union peacekeepers will be the ultimate test for Somalia's new security forces. As international troops prepare to leave, Somali soldiers are stepping up to take control of security checkpoints and maintain order, but the transition is delicate and the risks are high. Yet for the first time in decades, there is genuine hope. Support from Turkey and Qatar has provided Somalia with vital training, equipment, and diplomatic backing, giving the country the tools it needs to chart its own destiny and strengthen its institutions. The sight of Gorgor commandos in action and a revitalized Somali navy on the horizon inspire confidence in a brighter future. These elite forces symbolize a new era of professionalism and national pride, showing that Somalia is determined to defend its land and waters. These international alliances are true game changers, helping Somalia build a unified, capable military that reflects the diversity of its people and is ready to defend its sovereignty against any threat. Ultimately, Somalia's future will depend on the determination of its people to unite, reform, and overcome the divisions of the past. The energy of Somali youth and the commitment of community leaders are crucial in this ongoing journey. With the support of committed partners and the resilience of its own citizens, Somalia now has a real fighting chance at achieving lasting peace, security, and a hopeful future for generations to come.